Hi friends, Mrs. Musalami here, bringing you another poetry lesson for National Poetry Month. I want to talk to you about a special and fun kind of poetry today called acrostic poetry. Acrostic poetry is a type of poetry when you use a word or a phrase or a name and you write it vertically, so up and down, and you use typically the first letter of each word to describe that word. So if your word is kid, then you would use the K to say a word, the I to be a word, and then the D to be a word about the word kid. So I'll show you an example in a minute. So here's an example of an acrostic poem about cats. As you can see, the word cats is written vertically on the left-hand side of the screen. And then each of the letters are used to describe cats using different words. So the C is cuddly, A, acrobatic, T, tenacious, and S, softly purring. Cute little picture of a cat purring. What I like about this and what I notice is that it's not just adjectives that describe a cat or describing words, but there's also the S is used to describe what they do, an action, right? They softly purr. Another option and a different challenge with acrostic poetry would be to use the middle letters of different words or phrases. So if you could see this example of an acrostic poem called Sports, we've got footballs and basketballs. So rather than using the first letter to write sports on the left-hand side like this, there are different letters throughout. So you can see that it still spells sports, but it's throughout the middle of the words. Sports, footballs, and basketballs, umpires and refs, defending your goal, scoring goals, a real team effort, crowd goes wild. Similar to other types of poetry, there really are no rules other than to use the letters in the words vertically to spell the word or the theme or the topic that you're writing about. Try using a variety of different ways of describing it, like the cats one. What do they do? What do they say? What are some different traits that describe them, either external physical traits, how they look, how they behave. You could try using some figurative language, onomatopoeia, or sound words. You could use similes, metaphors. Just kind of have fun with it. Here's a website from Read, Write, Think that actually walks you through how to write an acrostic poem, and you can create one right on their site. So it kind of takes you to this. What is an acrostic poem? You can read a little bit more about it if you need to. And then it asks you your name, topic word. I'm going to use teacher for this example. And then it gives you this brainstorming page. And you really don't have to worry about the letters that you use. If you want to, you can try starting on this brainstorming page, start the words with these different letters. So I might say educator, because I know there's two E's here, and educator is another word for teacher. I might say something like teach, right? A teacher teaches. Really nice. I try to be really nice to my students. And you just keep going with that brainstorming. And so once you've brainstormed all the words that you want to include, click continue, and it takes you to this page. And so now you've got your little word bank here, and you just plug them in. So for T, I use teaches kids. E, educator. I thought that was a great synonym for teacher. A, apples, because I know lots of teachers eat apples. C, caring. Try to be caring. High expectations. E, ELA, because that's the subject that I teach. And really nice. Finish, and then it takes you to your finished poem. And what you could do is click print. So you could either save it on your computer that way, or what I like to do is click print and then just choose under printer, choose save to drive. And that'll actually save as a doc on your drive. And you could share it with me if you wouldn't mind. I would love to see what you come up with. You certainly do not have to use this online program. You could just take a piece of notebook paper and write out your acrostic poem. That would be totally fine. But some people like to use this because it looks a little fancy. So I hope that you give acrostic poetry a try. I think it's a fun, easy, creative type of poetry. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just give it a try. What topics could you write about? Could you use your name? Could you maybe use the title of a favorite book, a character in your book? Could it be about sport? Anything, really anything. But I'd love to see what you try and share your docs with me. Happy writing.